Welcome back. We'll be starting with a session on functions. So if you look at the broad set of Excel functions, as we saw when we looked at the various categories, you have functions which start with financial, date time, logical, reference, trigonometric, statistical, textual, and whole lot of other categories. The key ones that are important for us are what you see which are more highlighted, these 5 ones. And within that, the functions are listed out here. So what we'll start with right now is we'll look at the sum, the count, and if alternatives. You can refer to the Excel sheet that is available with you, which is this. So in this, what we have said is you have some information given to you in terms of the sales in different regions. For each region there's a different product which is sold, and there's a different profit margin that you can get on each product. So what we want is to find the total sales and the average sales. So as we said, to get the total, what we need is a sum function. I can say equal to SUM. Moment I type any function, as we saw, you have the entire help which comes to you in terms of what all functions are there. In addition, you also have a description which says adds all the numbers in the range of cells. Moment you put the first round bracket, Excel help changes from description of the function. It now becomes what values are needed by that function. So this is saying number 1, comma, number 2, and so on. In terms of Excel functions, in terms of arguments of the function, whenever you see a number which is any value which is shown like this, it means it's required, it's compulsory. And whenever you see anything which is in square brackets like the way number 2 is written, it means it's an optional thing. You may give it, you may not give it, the function will still operate. What this means is you at least need one number. If you want, you can go more than one number also. If you have to sum up, or if you have data which is in continuous cells, you can directly use a range, meaning I highlight the first cell, keep it clicked, and drag it and select the entire range. As you see, since I clicked here and dragged it till this, I could see D2 to D5, D2 colon D5, which says it's the range of numbers. To close the function, I put this right round bracket, enter. You get the total sum. If you go back here and you double click, the function, whatever cells are used by that function will be shown. So you have chosen the range option. It's not to say only range works. If you are not comfortable with range, you can delete this, let's say, and individually select the cell. So you select the first cell, you put a comma, a second cell, put a comma, third cell, put a comma, fourth cell, enter. It gives the same result. You can also use a combination of individual cells and ranges, even that works. So for average, you can do similar way. Just say equal to average. I type here. It's showing me all these functions. This is the function I'm interested in, the second one. I double click that. It types it out for me. Next, I select the range. I close the bracket. I get the average sales in each region, 450, which you can easily verify. 4 regions, total was 1800. So 1800 by 4 is 450. So this was a simple sum and average functions. you could also have a few conditions. So let's say we have that are given here. We also have the profit margin. Now I am interested to find out in places wherever my profit margin is better than 25%, it's good. Where it is lower than 25%, I need to work on. So I need to find out which are those regions which are good, ones which are not so good. So the way you can do it is, let's say in this column, I need to put that thing, good or not good. So what I'll do is, I'll say equal to if. The moment I say if, you can see the help says checks whether a condition is met and returns one value if true and another if false. So what we want to do is we want to test whether this profit margin is better than 20%. That's the condition we want to check. And if it's true, we want to return good. If that's not true, we want to return needs improvement. So I'll say if I put the first round bracket, and you can see those three functions. First parameter is logical test. Second and third parameter are optional since they are in square brackets. But the second parameter says do this if value is true, do this if value is false. So this is the condition I want to test. This cell. I select this cell. I say if this cell is greater than 25%, that's my condition. Fine. Comma. I have finished the condition. Now I want to say what happens if that is true. So as you see, when we were typing this condition, logical test was highlighted. Now that we have moved to the second parameter by putting a comma, this is highlighted. So Excel also tells you which parameter are you inputting at this point of time. So now Excel wants you to input value if true. So we want the value to be good. I put double quotes to say good, comma. If it is not true, I need to write needs improvement. I close the function. Enter. So in the first cell, since the profit margin is 20%, which is less than 25%, I see it says needs improvement. Now, when this cell is highlighted, as I told you, if you go to the rightmost bottom sign, if you see a dot there, you place a cursor, it converts to plus. Click there, drag it below. So it essentially copies from this to all the cells. If I double click here, you will see it's referring to this cell. As you remember, we have not put any dollar signs. As a result, as we move down each row, even the condition checking moved down each row. As you see, only for these two cells, your profit margin exceeded 25%. As a result, you can see good. For the two, it's saying needs improvement. So that's your if condition. On a particular condition, you want certain things to be carried out. So if true, then do something. If false, do something else. The first condition you saw here, the logical test. In this case, we only had one condition. What if you have to test with multiple conditions? There are 2 or 3 conditions you want to test, and based on that you want to carry out a decision. And that's where the logical operators come to our rescue. So logical operators are generally used when you need more than one condition to be tested. So the logical operators that we have are the OR and AND operator. So as we know, when I talk about a normal usage, when I talk in English and I say two conditions, I can use the or the and. So if I say I need this or this, it means I'm okay with one or the other. If I say I need this and this, it means I need both. In the same fashion, even when I use the or and the and operators, it means the same. So let's say I want to test if in a particular cell I put a condition, the or condition. I put two or conditions to say check if the margin is greater than 20% and check if sales are greater than 450. So if I use an or operator, so just to rephrase, the two conditions are profit margin greater than 25% and sales greater than 450, sorry. So these are two conditions you have, and here I create that or operator. So if I say or equal to or, the first condition I want to check is margin. I click there, is greater than 25%, comma, sales greater than 450. I close the bracket. So now I have put two conditions under or two, as you see here, logical 1, logical 2, logical 3 and so on. Out of the multiple logical conditions I can put, I have put two logical conditions. The first condition being this, the second condition being this. And it says true because even though the first condition was false, the second condition was true, and hence you see a true here. If I copy this down, you can see for yourself. It's true throughout. Reason? Here, profit margin was right. Profit margin was greater than 25%. Sales was lower, but margin was better, so it was true. In third case, margin was greater than 25%, so it didn't matter what this was. This is true. In the fourth case, sales was greater than 450. This was not, but that didn't matter. So when I use an or operator, if any one condition is true, the output is true. If you find that any one condition is true, you need not check other conditions. You straight away say true for if you are using an or operator. On the other hand, if you use the and operator for the same set of conditions, I say equal to A and B and bracket. First condition says margin greater than 25%, comma, sales greater than 450, will give you false, because even though one condition was satisfied, the other condition was not, so it was false. So in all these cases you find that either one is false or two is false. There is at no point both these conditions are true. As a result, and will all give you false results. So in case of and, you get a true output only if all of them are true. So to rephrase, or will give you true if any one of them is true, and will give you a true output only if all the conditions are true. And when I am talking of true, all conditions or whatever I am saying, it refers to the conditions that are mentioned within the logical conditions that you have given within that function. So now, as we said, the places where or and operators are useful for us is if I have a if condition where instead of a single condition which I have used here, I want to use multiple conditions. So then I could use a combination of AND or which I can embed out here and then use that for checking my if and or conditions. So what it means is, if you see here, the first condition what it needs logical test is it requires a true or a false, and that true or a false condition is given by the or the AND operators. So in Excel it is also possible to directly combine 2 or 3 or more functions, or you can embed functions within each other so that the output of one function becomes the input to the next function for its processing. So now we had previously done sum where there was no condition checking, we added everything. We separately said I could check conditions and then get an output that I want. Within conditions I could have the operators or AND. So now can I combine both these, the summation and the condition, to say if I want to conditionally add some numbers? To make you understand, let's say I have a problem statement which says, fine, it's good to know the total of sales, but I am only interested in sales of mobiles. So I want to know what is the total sales of mobile, and I want to write a formula. So what I can do is I can fall back on what we have called as the SUMIF function, which combines the functionality of summation and the condition checking. So if you see, I say equal to SUMIF. The moment I have SUMIF, it says adds the cells specified by a given condition or criteria. This is exactly what I want. Great. I put the bracket and I can see SUMIF says it needs a range, it needs a criteria, and it needs a sum range. So sum range, as you see, is in square bracket, meaning it's optional. Let's try to understand each parameter. The range indicates where or the column in which your input data is kept, on which this criteria needs to apply. In the above example, what is the condition you want to check? You want to check the condition that the product should be a mobile. As a result, your range is this product column. Comma. The criteria that you have is it should be a mobile. So on the range you want to apply the criteria mobile. So this criteria is given in double quotes. I say double quote mobile. Just take care to type exactly the value that you can see here, because it does an exact match. So if you make a mistake while typing the spelling of mobile, let's say, you may not get the right result. Comma. It comes to third parameter, says sum range. Now what I want is, if I get mobile, I want to add up the sales for that, and the sales for that is given in this column. I can select that column. Just keep in mind that whatever is the length of this range should be exactly equal to the sum range also, because what Excel will do internally is will check for this value. If it finds it to be not mobile, it will ignore this. If it finds it to be a mobile, it will add this. Again it finds it's mobile, it will add this. This, it finds it's not a mobile, it does not add this. And you get 700, which is summation of these two. That's 700. So in this case we had to use all three parameters, range, criteria, and sum range, which was the optional parameter. But there could be cases where you don't need to use them, wherein both the range in which you check the condition and the range which you add up is same. To take an example, let's say now the problem statement says add up the numbers or add up sales which are greater than 500 or greater than equal to 500. Let's say I'll say equal to sum if the condition is saying add sales greater than equal to 500. Sales is given in this column, so I take that, comma. The condition says greater than equal to 500, so double quotes, greater than equal to 500 in the quotes. The third one says sum range, but sum range is again the same range which I have used for checking. So even if you don't give that, Excel assumes that if you ignore the last parameter, the sum range and the range for checking the criteria are same, and as a result it will give you 500 plus 600 as 1100. Right? So in sum if what we have done is we have used both the conditions, both the formulas, the sum formula and the if formula, but instead of we doing it separately, sum if combines the options of both these formulas and gives you as a single formula. Sum if was to check only one condition. If you have multiple conditions to be checked, you can use what we call as the sum ifs. So if you see sum ifs, it says adds the cells specified by given set of conditions or criteria. If you see what are parameters it needs, you put the round bracket, it says sum range, criteria range 1, criteria 1, criteria range 2, criteria 2, and so on. Which means if there are multiple conditions to be checked, and based on those conditions you want to add up. So in this case you could say that I want to add up the sales for the product being mobile and the profit margin being greater than 30%. Let's say. So that's, you are checking two criteria, the profit margin and product, and then you are adding up sales. So in that scenario you would use a sum ifs because you want to check multiple conditions and then do the addition. The only difference I would like to point out between sum ifs and sum if is the placement of the parameters. So in sum ifs, as you see, the first parameter is sum range. If you go back to sum if, the sum range is the last parameter and optional parameter. So you just need to be careful on that count only, that the parameter, the order of the parameters is different for sum if and sum ifs. But that said, Excel help is always available. So whenever you are using any Excel function, please don't ignore the help that you see, especially in the initial days when you are just learning the tricks. So the last thing before we close this session is the sum product function. So the sum product function again is a combination of, as the name says, sum and product. Now where do we need to use it? So let's say in this case we have an example where I say sales and profit margins are given. Okay, so let's say I want to calculate my total profit. So the way you would calculate a total profit would be, you'll take sales into the profit margin, you'll get, say, the profit for north. Similarly, when you multiply sales and profit margin for east, you get the profit for east, and so on for each region. So you'll individually calculate profit for each region and then sum that up to give you total profit. But this is exactly what can be replicated by a single function called as sum product. So if I say equal to sum product, it says, the help says, returns the sum of the products of the corresponding ranges or arrays. Let's understand it when we see the parameters. It says array 1, array 2, array 3, and so on. So it can take any number of arrays. The only point is all arrays should be of the same length. So in this case, we said this is the first array, this is the second array. Sorry, this is the first array, comma, which I forgot, and the second array. I close this. So now what Excel is going to do is, you have given it two arrays, so it will multiply individual corresponding numbers, multiply them and sum them up. 468 is exactly the summation of 20 into 500 plus 40 into 300 plus 35% into 400 plus 18% to 600. You can verify that for yourself. So sum product could take any number of arrays as long as they are of equal length, and it will multiply the corresponding values in the array and sum up all the products that you get in the end. So this is useful if you want to combine such a feature where you want to do this kind of summation. So with that, we conclude this session. We'll continue with functions in the next session. Thank you.